What's going on, guys? Lucas Jensen here, back with the Forward Thinking podcast. Today, I got two very, very special guests. They're good friends of ours, good friends of mine,
We're all
and
friends
ours,
here.
industry friends too. Industry friends too. We got Alex Corral from Cabinet Coating Kings, and we got Aiden Smith from PaintPro Coaching. Also, both of them are business partners with Cabinet Coating University. So today, I just want to talk about kind of their backstories and then how everything kind of came into fruition for Cabinet Coating University, or CCU. So, Alexander, the utmost, talk to me, brother. How'd you get going with Cabinet Coating Kings? How'd you choose the name? Why just cabinets?
All right. So honestly, I never knew anything about any industry in the service-based industry. I was more into the nightclubs and restaurants. So I had 3 or 4 nightclubs and restaurants that I ran and owned, and I was basically the Jersey Shore guy, fist pumping and getting the party started and the restaurants rowdy and or the nightclubs rowdy. So I was a totally different person, but that's what I thought I liked, right? That's what I thought would make me happy. And fortunately and unfortunately, I went up that ladder and realized that, like, because I had the popular nightclubs and the nice restaurants, and I had the money. I had, like, what people would say is a great life, right? Like girls, money, friends, some clout. And then I was like, I woke up one day and I'm like, you know what? This is probably the most unhappy I've ever been in my life. And I'm like, damn, man. And I'm like, what do I do now? Like, I was so caught up, and I'm talking about, I was like deep in the hole. I was like doing drugs every night, drinking every night, bad, like just so lost, so not in this world. And I don't know, I just, a good friend of ours who worked with me, Tanner Mullen, he he woke me up one evening at the restaurant, and he's like, dude, you gotta figure your shit out. Basically, that's what he told me, but in like a powerful speech, just like how he does it now. Like, he just did it, like, back then. He just has it inside of him.
He ripped you session.
He ripped you a new one.
Yeah, but in like the night, like he was like, he looked up to me. He's like, dude, you're way too good for what you're doing. Like, in the best way possible, right? Like, he's just like, there's no way you could go down this road and ruin yourself. That's how he was basically saying it. So then I just honestly sold everything and then left Gainesville, and what I just was like, I'm just gonna see what happens. Like that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'll die if I do this anymore. So I completely just went on faith, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do whatever. Long story short, my buddy moved to Orlando, and he was doing real estate. So I'm like, you know what? I'll go do that for a little bit. I'm pretty good with sales, and I did that for a moment, and then something came to be where this cabinet opportunity came, and I started helping my buddy. It was like really out of the blue, right? Like, the universe just brought it to me, and I was about to take a sales job, making really good money because that was my thing. And I started helping my friend for about 2-3 months with the cabinets, and I'm like, bro, this could be something great. Then I started working with him for like $750 a week. Okay, so I had $100,000 plus commission job that I had on, like, already signed for. I left it because I had a feeling about this cabinet thing, and I took $750 a week. All right. Then I grew it just from my own. I'm like, dude, let me do sales. Let me do this. I just started, like, growing the business with them. So I developed these systems, and that we grew that from like 1-2 jobs to like 5 jobs in like a year after I joined. Then he started becoming really, like, business oriented, more money, like just money hungry, not caring about the customers, not caring about the guys. And I'm more of a, like, I want the guys to be happy. I was like the glue of that whole place. So once he started kind of treating me on like a more of a lower end side, it kind of hit my off switch, and I told him I was leaving. I was just going to start Cabinet Coating Kings. So I wouldn't have left him though, because he's actually great. you know, with business, very determined, and he just didn't have the right formula for me to stay, right? So I kind of thank him for being like that, because then it forced me to go and, you know, start Cabinet Coating Kings, and within 6 months I had $1 million business
That's crazy, dude.
with
So
cabinets.
you went from owning nightclubs, you sold all of those. You said those were up in Gainesville?
Yeah, and the kids that I was with, the group, they still own some over there, so they're still doing good. I knew, bro, I'm a guy. Freaking Aiden knows, man. When I know something and I feel something, it doesn't really matter what people think, or if they think I'm crazy, if the money's there. Like, I just do. And then if I fail, it fails. If it's great, it's great. But then I learn and I get better.
Yeah. And do you think it's the kind of pulling yourself out of that environment that led you to building Cabinet Coating Kings to $1 million in 6 months? Like, do you think if you stayed in that environment and you stayed friends with those people, you know, all power to them, whatever. But if you stayed friends with those people doing those drugs, owning those businesses, whatever, that you would have been able to build CCK to the point where it is now?
No, because I totally transformed myself in solitude for about 3 to 4 years before I did anything.
So
I had to I went to hell mentally, and I read everything I could with motivation and entrepreneurial. I had to change my mindset, bro, because I wasn't this. I was like the person who just went along with society. So like, what? I'll do whatever if you like me. You know, like, oh, you think I'm cool? Awesome. But then I became like the I became higher on the totem pole. So then I became that person who was cocky and kind of mean, not mean, but like, you know, I just didn't like who I was, and I was like, I need to figure out who I am, because if I have all these things that were supposed to make me happy, why am I so depressed? Like, I was like super depressed, and it was pretty freaking sweet. Like, if you look at it on like a big screen, I'm like, there are people like, that's a fun life.
yeah,
But
I
it
mean,
wasn't
you were
mine.
telling me about it, dude. The girls, the money, the partying, dude. I'm biting my lip when you told me about that, you know. But
Yeah, but it's funny now. I don't like. I have my wife, and I don't even really go out. I just want to work on myself, bro. I think when you go through something like I did, and even I just want to see what I can do, because I feel like I'm like, what else can I be? Right? It's not like I have to be something gigantic, but it's like I changed from that to this, so why can't I go from this to that?
Sure.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
what's that look like? You know, that's what Alexander the Utmost is. That's like this, just always positive, like always high energy, just get in it, like regardless what happens, no matter what situation, worst situation. All right, we got it. It's all right. We'll live through it. We'll tell the story. You know.
yeah. And
But
how
that's
much
a
of
work
that,
in progress right now.
how much of that do you think comes from like the actual like physical aspect of how you treat your body? Like I know you go running at like 4 a.m. Dude, the second time I met you, you came in walking you were eating a head of broccoli. Dude, not even kidding. You walked into the kitchen for Cabinet Coating University. He was eating a freaking head of broccoli, dude. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, look at the guy. He looks like a sculpture.
Dude, he
Well,
does, dude.
so that's another. So
He really does.
again, that's another. You could fall into a lot of holes in this world, right? Like the physical. I know if I were to do certain stimulants, I would even look even better, right? But I already went down the trap, like when I was 25, 26, where I took, you know, certain stimulants to make me look a certain way, but I had to, because I was drinking and doing all these other things, right? So I'm more wanting to be healthy, but also like push myself to the limit and see, hey, how can I make my body look natural, right? And then maybe not eating so much meat, maybe like 5-10% of my diet's meat, if any. But like, I kind of figure things out. Like when I eat those heads of broccoli, like I literally instantly feel energy. Like it's like it goes into my body, and I could feel it. Like, so it's something I'm like, I need to do that more often, right? And it's a nice snack, and it fills you up because you're chewing a lot. So it makes your brain think you're super full, you know, instead of eating like whatever else has no nutrition, and you're just eating all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you put premium gas into a premium car, it's going to drive better, right? So it's like if you put, low quality gas into a Ferrari, it won't really perform as well as it should be, right? But if you put the right fuel into it, I mean, it's going to go even further.
Yeah, and a lot of people there's a lot of information out there. So a lot of people fall into information like diarrhea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know what the hell to do. So I'm one, like I read about stuff, but I like to examine on myself, right? And then I have an instinct of like, all right, I want to do that. That feels good. And because I went full vegan raw for like 2 years, it was good, but I wasn't like, I like eating eggs. So I'm going to eat eggs. Because if you stress yourself out on a diet, it's just as bad as eating bad stuff. Because you're making the chemicals in your body with the stress, it's just as bad as the bad chemicals in the food. So you just gotta give yourself time. You gotta be patient with yourself. A lot of people don't dig deep, man. I just try to dig deep. I'm not anything special, right? Like I'm still figuring myself out. I'm 41, figuring it out, but I'll figure it out. And if I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed. And I will read and I will join great people like you guys, but I also follow my intuition and heart. Like, and we'll go into a story like with my business recently. Um, Sometimes you just got to do what you feel you need to do, regardless if it looks like it's a step back or a step forward. Who gives a fuck what anyone thinks, because they don't even care about you. Like, not saying like we don't care about each other, but at the end of the day, like we care about ourselves and what's going on with our families, and then that pours out into other people. If we can't be phenomenal, we can't be phenomenal for other people.
Yeah, 100%. So Tanner put you in the direction of, was he running a painting business at that time?
He just started at that point.
He just started.
It's funny. Me and him were like exchanging a couple hundreds of dollars here and there to keep us going. And now it's like, now it's funny when we talk. We're like, it's unbelievable. It's 5 years ago. It was like 5-8 years. That's it. It's not even that long. That's anyone out there. If you put your head down and you just give yourself a shot and understand it's going to be like, you just pretend you're grinding through the mud, dude, and you're digging yourself out of the ditch and you're learning. But if you do it and you put passion into it and you're okay with the pain, because the pain is going to have you grow. It's just like working out. You're going to work out. It's going to hurt, but eventually you're going to love the hurt, and then you're going to love what you see. Same thing with business and everything else. These guys right here, they're phenomenal with business. Lucas and Aiden, like they love it. They go in hard and they put in that work, those like fundamental reps to really understand all these concepts that help me, where I like maybe don't do that with business, but I do it in other areas of my life. But guys, like if you don't look at tomorrow and look at, all right, in 5 years, what can I do? And being consistent, anyone will be successful in 5 years if you just put your head down and focus on one thing. I could promise you that.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd say the number one thing, because I've known Alex for maybe 2 years at this point, and it feels like so much longer, just because all the things we've been through initially and all that, and we can get into that. Yeah. But like, I think when you combine, like if I could just kind of boil you down to 2 words, it would be energy and discipline, right? And you don't necessarily need the educational know-how, or like, even if he does have that, you don't need it when you have those 2 things, because a lot of times you're going to fall forward and it's going to work out in your favor, right? Because that energy is going to be positive. It's going to be radiating. It's going to allow you to have people that come to you that you didn't even expect in life. And then the discipline, people will see like, this guy's about it. He's game. He'll figure it out. Like, and that's the difference. I've seen him like, I've seen him go and have the stamina that other people would cave under, do 8 appointments in a day and still be good to go and like ready, that comes with like, you have to build that up. You cannot just do that overnight. Right.
And closes them too.
And closes them. And he said, oh, I'm decent at sales. Bro, you are amazing at sales. This man just sold 50K in a day the other day. Like, let's not like.
But that's the utmost day. That's not like, but it's still, but if you put yourself in the position to be utmost, then you'll get that that day every so often, right?
And the cool thing is he writes his own book, right? He doesn't listen to all these gurus and all these educational, you know, all this stuff. He goes in and he figures it out and he puts the energy in, right? Like literally we'll go down and I'll say, hey, these are the realistic goals you have for your business, Alex. Like this is what you should be aiming towards. And he'd say, fuck that, add another 0. And I'd be like, there we go. But then he does this type shit. And I'm like, dude, I can't believe it. You know, proves me wrong every time. You know, what I think is possible versus what he actually achieves. It's insane. And I've seen it time and time again.
And God, dude, you gotta put it above whatever anyone's believes, right? Is God, you're the creator, whatever.
Yeah.
You gotta put that utmost goal out there, and be detached from it. Like, be like, all right, like my goal every week is to sell 75K. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 jobs a week. Like that's what I have on my goals, right? Yeah. That's a possibility this week, right? Mm-hmm. But I've been doing it for like 2 months. So if you think about it, I failed 7 weeks in a row having these high goals. But if I don't give a shit about the goal, but in staying committed and keeping the vision, and then see, oh shoot, look, if I just keep going, look, it pops up here and there, like, and then it'll be more consistent, like that. Then you stay up with God and don't let your brain and that your mindset and that negative vortex take you down and say you can't. So that's why I do that. I do these goals that are silly to some people, and like, dude, why are you doing that? It's because it challenges my mind and my body constantly. So that means I have to be my utmost self constantly to be able to even be in the vibrancy to get these goals, right? So then it's like I'm working out nonstop mentally, and it's tough. Like everyone, listen, it's not the easiest thing in the world. You got to go slowly into this, but you got to be detached. If you don't get the goal, it's fine. You got to feel like you did get it, even if you get 0 sales. If you could do that, you have nothing to worry about in this world.
I also think we talked recently, and one of the things you said was, I'm just staying ready, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's about doing the little things consistently over a long period of time and just being ready, man. Like being able to, like you've done before, sell 21 jobs in a week, bro, by yourself. I mean, if that's not an achievement in its own, but it only comes because you put it ahead of time, the work in, you know? And if you didn't have the healthy diet you had, the exercise going, just you being in that mental clarity, high energy, you know, self, you wouldn't be able to achieve these things. And that's what most people get. They want it handed to them on a silver platter. Yeah. And they think, oh, they sign up for one program or one thing. It's like, oh, it's done. It's done for me. I'm going to achieve it now. It's like, no, you have to go actually do the work. And that doesn't mean doing it when you want to. It's doing it consistently every single time. You know how many times I hop on a call with Alex and he says, did you do it? And I'm like, I'm slacking, you know, but that's, you know, you build it over time, you get better and it's consistent. You try, you know, you continue to get back to it. Once you're not on it, hop back on the horse. It'll happen.
Amen. Amen. And then when did your paths cross?
Oh, so Tanner Mullen again.
Dude, shout out Tanner. That's how we all got to know each other too.
Yes. So I was Tanner's like, you gotta get out of your, and that's another thing. You got to make sure you know what you want for yourself. And I didn't know if I wanted a bigger business or like to delegate more of my stuff, but you have to find out, right? It was against maybe what I thought I wanted to do, but I was open to saying, all right, let me try this. Okay. Let me attempt these things. And Tanner, he called me. He's like, hey, Aiden, he's a rock star. He's in your area. You got to hire him as your sales guy. I'm like, dude, I don't want to hire anyone. I don't need that right now. Just whatever. He's like, dude, just let him call you or whatever. I don't know. So he called me. Well, I told him to call me. So I go, Tanner, if he calls me back, cool. If he doesn't, that's it. So he called me. I'm like, all right, come to the shop and I'll take it over. But in my head, I'm like, I'm not hiring anyone, right? I had 0%. I'm not hiring anyone I didn't want to. He walks in my shop. I looked at him. I'm like, shit. I just
knew that was when I had hair.
But I just knew, right? Like it wasn't like everything with the business didn't need it. You see what I'm saying? Like it didn't need it, and I didn't need to hire him. But it was more of a why did this come together, and why when you saw him, it was like something clicked where you knew it was you needed to have him around for something.
I'm a good
And
looking
then he
guy,
was actually phenomenal because like I'm not that structured, and that's something I'm getting better with. But it was more of like, Aiden, here's the business. Do whatever the hell you got to do. Like, like I trained him in sales. He was doing well with that. But the energy with the business was kind of weird at that time. So it was like this up and down with the sales. So I had to like step in more. But then he came in, he was just always trying to do something and make it better. Like that's a rare individual. And I kept telling him, I'm like, Aiden, bro, like you're going to be successful no matter what. And the first thing he's like, well, it was the interview. He's like, all right, so what do you expect? I go, I just want you to be your most phenomenal self. That was my question. That was my answer. I go, if you're your most phenomenal self, I win. And he's like, what?
Yeah. I was like ready for corporate answers. I was ready for like, tell me about your backstory, blah, blah, blah. He didn't care about nothing like that. He said, I need the best you can be so it can benefit everybody. And then we will all grow together in this. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, bro.
Yeah, he's been working on that smile because that wasn't there when he first came to me.
100%. Alex changed me, bro. I will say that very proudly. Like before Alex, and it's funny because even though his business didn't technically need me or anything like that, I think we crossed paths when we both needed each other, right? Yeah. Because I was trying to get the coaching off the ground, right? And like I just moved to Florida, and it was like, I don't know if I want to restart a business out here. I just had that in Philly, it's kind of still going. I was trying to figure that out too. I was like, let me get a job and just try to figure something out. And that's when I hopped on the call with Tanner, and he was like, dude, I got this guy. His name's Alex, one of my good buddies. You can be a sales rep for him. So that's when I was like, extra money while I get this coaching. Sure. Let's do it. I'm in, went out there, and that's when that happened. But like it turned into something way bigger than that. And I was able to help him, but he was also able to really confirm to me that I was able to help businesses at a level that I wasn't even sure if I was ready to do yet. And that's when it was like all came full circle that we were like, look, I don't know if this means me and him working together forever or whatever, but in some capacity, we helped each other. We helped each other level up. And now it's like, we're good friends. Obviously we have our own business together. And I think that's where it kind of stemmed from, of like both of us just saying, we don't necessarily need each other, but like we would love to make something work. We both have the same values. We're aligned. We like helping people. We're pretty positive. He's way more positive than me, but like that's something I had to kind of grow into. And he helped me out a lot with that. I think if Alex, he comes from like the utmost energy and just like trying to get the most out of somebody. And that was something I needed at that time, of like, you made the right decision to come out to Florida. You made the right decision to invest into a different business aside from just painting, right? I didn't have that affirmation. And for him to see that in me and really like bring the best out of me and motivate me, that was huge. That I even didn't know that was happening at the time, that I look back and I'm like, damn, I really appreciate him for that,
Yeah. So you started PaintPro Coaching. Like now we know it as a big, one of the top painting programs around, but kind of what were like the beginning days of PaintPro Coaching? Like why'd you get into that? And where do you kind of see it going in the future?
Yeah, great question. So I had always had a want to do something more than just construction, right? I never saw myself as like a construction guy. Like I did every job under the sun. I delivered beer for a little bit. Like I had opportunities that were
hook it up, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. Dude, I was the plug. People are like, dude, Aiden, get us some beer. And I'd just bring home cases, dude. It was like, yeah. But yeah, so there was opportunities that were put in front of me. Like they were going to pay for my CDL. I was going to be a truck driver for them. I just said no, though. I was like, that's just not me, And look, shout out to all the truck drivers. We need them in America. But for myself, I just didn't see it, I'm more of a creative person. I just felt like I had different abilities. So opportunities came up like that as I was jumping job to job. But once I got my degree, felt pretty confident in like business fundamentals and like did some sales jobs from corporate level companies. that was when it gave me the confidence to like, damn, I could run my own business. You know, I know how to sell. I painted when I was like 16 or so. I did a lot of side jobs just to make money. That's when I put it all together and said, like, I'm going to do my own thing. And then at first, obviously, I failed. I tried to do it all by myself. I would hire friends, family, you name it. And then I got to a point where it was actually pretty stable and things were going pretty good. And I had gotten off the tools, right? I had the business in a solid blueprint to where I wasn't doing everything and I was kind of relaxed and just doing the sales and looking over stuff. But for the most part, my guys were doing all the work for me, and they were my good friends at that point. And they would come up to me and say, hey, like, could you help us start our own business? Like, because we don't want to work under you forever, you know? So I'm like, yeah, you guys can be 1099, you know, have your own insurance. I'll help you all set it up. We used to meet in my basement and we would just go over stuff. What sheen should you use here? How should you take the project start to finish? What should you do at the end? Like, we were like doing this before it was even a thing. In my basement, just everybody, my wife would be making breakfast and we'd just be going through it just because I cared about these people. They were like, they helped me out, you know? So I'm like, look, you could be a sub for me as long as you want. And then if you ever need work while you're grinding, I'm always available. Like, we could always figure it out. So it was interesting that I had kind of started this even before moving to Florida or even trying to, right? Then I moved to Florida and there was this guy that was popping up my For You page. And surely enough, he actually won the Alex Hormozy games. His name's Brandon Forbes. He's a really high level coach. And he allowed me to kind of add structure to what I wanted to do. Cause I had this idea like online, everybody's making money online. People are like really like leveling up online. This is crazy. It's a new space. I'm like, let me try and do something like that other than just starting a new business out here. That's what I did, paid him. And for me, I just moved out to Florida, spent all this money to get out here. And that was a big investment. Like, I didn't even know if I could swing it, but I did it and ended up thankfully paying off. But it didn't at first. It took a good year for me to even see any returns. I was doing people for free. I was doing 2 at a time. I mean, it was like I just needed guys to prove it on, you know? So Myrna did it for like barely anything. And now she's about to do, you know, or just did CCU with us. So it's like funny how things leveled up and she kind of grew with me. And now she has this huge business. And it's like, it's just amazing to see. But I think once I started to make videos, I think I made like 80 to 100 videos before I started seeing any track, you know, success. And then when I hopped on with Alex, it really just kind of proved the concept. And it was like, damn, you can help a business that's doing millions, you know? You have the ability to go out and change people's lives and even do it for yourself if you wanted to. And that's what we're doing now. I just launched the business in Florida and we're doing good, man. Things are doing really good. So I think that's like the kind of coming up story. But now we're at a point where I had to limit it to 5 clients a month because it was just too much. Everybody that was coming in was like crushing and killing it. And I'm like, I have to build my own business one. So I need time for that. We have CCU going. I can't just keep bringing everybody in because I don't want to get to a point where it's just like mass people and now people aren't getting the best results, right? I like it to be intimate. I like to work with them one-on-one and really build those relationships because that means a lot to me, you know? The money's going to be there. We're going to figure that out. But people coming in and actually saying, hey, Aiden, you're the guy I want to take this journey and go on with me and help me build this business. I think you're the guy. That's what wakes me up in the morning. So
Yeah. I love
that's
that.
where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's huge, man.
He
So
helped me, man. He helped. So like I'm a $1.52 million business. He came in. I had my own the Alex Corral systems, but I didn't have like a organization, right? And he came in. He's just so professional. I don't know. I kind of know when I talk to someone or see people. I'm like, they're gonna be successful. Like right when he came in, I'm like, you're not gonna be here forever. So just do what you need to do. Make sure you make the company great, and then you go. But then he saw that, like he actually looked out for me. He's like, hey, you don't really need me anymore, and it'd be better if you don't need to pay me. Yeah. And I'm like, that would be great, you know. And I could give you painting leads, which I did. I've given him some painting clients, and but that's the type of. He's like, just give me a month to set this up, and I'm like, bro, you're gonna kill it, and I'll help you. And you know, I always gave him affirmations like, dude, you're phenomenal. Don't fucking worry, bro. You're going to be like, everyone's killing off you right now because they're paying what that little amount that you're charging now is going to be like 10, 10 times more in about a year or two.
But the thing is, you don't say this to everybody. Like, I'm around you when you're talking to people and stuff. Like, unless you truly mean it, you're not going to just pump people up, you know? Obviously, if you feel the need to give people motivation, you will, but it's not like you're just going around and trying to get everybody gelled up. Like, that's just not how it is, you know?
No, I kind of chill, but when I feel someone, well, you have a good heart, you're a good all around soul. So you guys know me, I'm a lot about energy, and I feel people, and I could kind of get through someone's bull BS,
Yeah.
even if they're not deep. But from every action you've ever done with me, like I gave him space. He could have not done anything. I still would have paid him, right? But he always made sure he helped me. Like he always he's like, I'm gonna get all these things done. He didn't need to, but that's just who he is, right? He wouldn't have felt good taking my money and not giving me something, right?
Yeah.
So, and I give people space to see how people are. And honestly, it's like a one in like 100, probably a lot more than that are
Yeah.
like, a certain way. But you also got to go through a lot of stuff to be a certain way too.
And I think that led us to Lucas also, right?
Yeah.
Like in this journey of really making Cabinet Coding Kings what it is now, you know, Lucas was a huge part in that. And I remember the phone call. Dude, I remember we were in the parking lot and we had somebody else. It was like kind of one of his friends, you know, running the marketing. And I remember kind of getting with him and saying, I don't know if you have the best system, man. I think it could be better. You know, what he's doing versus at least what I know about it. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I think we were boosting posts at that point, you know? And I'm like, I think you should consider other options. And funny enough, dude, he's on the phone with Tanner, and Tanner's like, you got to get with this kid, dude. His name's Lucas. He's killing it. He's a beast. And then he's like, Aiden, what do you think? And I'm like, look, it's a nice chunk of money, but if you feel good about it, I mean, it has to be better than what you're doing now. And thank God we made that decision because, you know, obviously I think our cost of leads last time I looked at it was like $16-12, something crazy per lead.
The one thing is that what I want to, if any, for the listeners, like, it's not like I had the cap, like it wasn't like the business was like, oh, it looked at all this money that's left over.
Right.
Like, that wasn't the case. Even when Aiden was coming in, it wasn't the case. It's more of like, all right, let's go. Like I put the faith in for that, like the universe was, or God, or however you want to think, the opportunities were being presented to me, but you gotta be able to take them, right? Because I could have been like, no, I don't want to pay anything, you know, and then who knows what situation I'd be in. And then Lucas ended up being a great friend, or is a great friend, and he did unbelievable work, and he still is. We're crushing it with him. And then now what him and just him understanding my style, and I saw how he responded. He was receptive to my mindset, which a lot of people don't get. But when I was coming up with this is the whole CCU story.
Yeah.
Is me and Aiden were going through the numbers of the business to see what made sense, and we were looking at expansion. And Aiden put all these numbers together, and when we looked at it, we're like, that doesn't look like that much fun, dude. It looks like we're putting way more money into that and nothing's coming back.
It was a long-term play and everything had to go great, you know.
And I'm just like, I just didn't, I was not excited about it. I'm like, I don't know.
Like we could have went the little bit more inexpensive way and kind of started it up in a certain way, but like that's not what Alex is made of. He wants to do high quality, get everything ready for 5 jobs a week because he knows that's what the system can, you know, produce at minimum. So it was like, if we're not setting it up that way, it's like, why even do it? So we ran through the numbers and we were like, look, this is going to take a long time, going to be a lot of capital. Everything has to go great. We have to find the right people to run it. We were kind of like, and Alex was like, I have a great idea. I just got a call randomly. And he's like, I think we should do something like a, you know, university type where I've already done it before. He had some experience with it, but he was like, I think now that we have you and like, we kind of could put it together, we can make this thing even better. So now talking about it, it was kind of like, we were talking. How do we bring it up with Lucas?
So it was, I was just like sitting in my room, and then like the idea popped in my head. I'm like,
yeah,
all right. And it wasn't even like we were in a good situation, right, Aiden? It's not like everything was going like great. It was actually in one of those situations where it's like, where do I pivot right now?
Yeah.
Something's not going right. And so I was just like chilling and thinking, and then boom, I'm like, why don't I've done this before, but not with the right people. And I called Aiden, and I'm like, what do you think about this? He's like, oh, that'd be pretty cool. And then I hung up, and then I was sitting, I'm like, what else will we need? I go, all right, we're gonna need Facebook and funnels and this and that. And I called him back. I'm like, yo, what if we got Lucas to join and do this? Because he has a good heart, hard worker.
Yeah, at this point, like you and Lucas were pretty close, because I remember you had told me like, yo, these conversations with me and you were having, like Lucas was basically having the same ones with you, like kind of those heart to heart, like opening up. And you were like, look, if I'm hiring this guy, I want the bougie treatment. If I call him up, he has to be on it, kind of making sure everything's running. And he was, thankfully, because if not, we would have been cut off. But like, yeah, he was going above and beyond for you, and you guys were kind of kicking it off with the relationship. And then I think what happened was we were in the text, and Lucas was like, what if I got in on this, guys? And we were like, dude, honestly, we wouldn't choose anybody else. Like at that time, like there's no way. And it's just like the stars aligned, because it was like, he brings this, one, obviously, his education and what he knows about marketing and just the painting industry at this point was like unmatched. But two, his connections, right? It was like what he's doing with PaintCon, what we know the trajectory he's on. And like, dude, that was like awesome, because one, you got somebody with integrity just like us, and that knows the industry and that can get us results like quick. So we were like, look, let's do it. We worked out the numbers and signed the deal.
Yeah. And here we are. And we've had, numerous students. We're going to have 2 students for September for Cabinet Coding University. And I mean, Alex, like when you used to do this, right? But you brought all that knowledge plus all the refining and systems that you had with Cabinet Coding Kings, plus all the systems that Aiden has with PaintPro Coaching, plus all our marketing. So it's like the students that have gone through Cabinet Coding University right now have just like exploded. Like Ryan, our first ever client, he started with us back in September of last year, 2023. He did 1 job under his belt. We brought him, good money through Facebook. And then he invested in Cabinet Coding University and kind of refined his systems for cabinets. And now he's just cranking out 150K months. Like he is dominating Nashville, so.
Dude, Myrna is doing 80+K a month, right? And she has never sniffed those numbers, since day one.
Hey, so you know what's funny about that? So I wish we could show you a picture of Aiden's whiteboard and versus my whiteboard.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much our brains. And it was so funny. But
yeah, in CCU, basically you spend time with both of us kind of going through like the roadmap of what you got going on, because it is more than cabinets, right? Even though we specialize in it, we go over a bunch of different stuff. But we also want to just say, hey, what's big brain business look like for you? What's next steps look like? How can you achieve that? What does that look like? X's and O's. Mine was like very structured, and you got your numbers in place, everything adds up, makes sense. And then Alex is just like, boom, like somebody took paint and just flung it at the board. It was hilarious.
It had like faith with arrows into like,
you just see random crosses diagonal.
Yeah, but the thing is, so the funny thing is, she was telling me her like goals are like 60, and then I'm like, what about 80? And she was like, oh well, then I'd have to do all these things, and she got all nervous. And then she kind of told me a little bit about herself, but like with all those things, I kind of was like, why not? Like what's stopping you from that 80 that from your decision in the beginning? Right? Like, why can't you have that same mindset in the beginning, that fearless mindset in the beginning to go after that 80 now, like right now? Don't be nervous about losing anything, because then you'll lose it. Like, you gotta grow, right? Like, but it was interesting. You just said that she's doing 80, because that's awesome for her, man. Because that was an utmost goal for her.
Dude, you know what she had? She had imposter syndrome. She needed to experience like very confident, like, guys or just people in general that are like, you can do this. This is possible. People are doing it. Look at this person. Look at that person. But it's like when you have somebody kind of break it down and say, this is why it's possible rather than, oh, you can do it. It's like a totally different thing. And she was like, yeah, but I've never done it before. What would that look like? And kind of breaking it down for her was an eye opener. And that's what we've seen. I think that's like the main quote is like, it was a game changer for me. It was an eye opener when people come out of CCU, you know, because they got 3 of us going in on their business. There's no downside.
The best thing is Aiden will give you the straight numbers with logic. I'll say the same exact thing, but in a whole nother energetic way.
Right.
And then you're just like, it's just like your left and right brain, yeah, oh, I get, yes, like the faith and the science, you know, like together it comes. And then Lucas just, well, if you have any desire to get any number, he's gonna get it for you.
Yeah, he's how we get it.
Yeah, exactly.
For real.
No, I think what we have is just we're masters of trades in the different avenues of the businesses, and I think like, you know, there's these 3 avenues that we're just masters of, you know, like the systems, the operations, and then the marketing. It's like those 3 things itself can just freaking blow any business up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And walking into something and seeing something in real life, like you were saying, Aiden, like it's easier to say, oh, do this, do that, whatever. But when you see an organization actually doing that and you see exactly how everything is done step by step, it makes it that much more like, oh, okay, I could do it too. And then it's just like it's a no-brainer that you're going to hit it. You know what I mean? But you need to see it, you need to feel it, you need to understand it, and then you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We barely mentioned anything about cabinets. You know what I mean?
It's bigger than that, dude.
That's what it is, though. You know, even though it's.
I want anyone who's ever had me on a podcast. How much business do we talk?
Barely
None.
any.
It's energy, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's with me. So look, anyone out there, I don't even know the best concepts of cabinets. I know everything about it because I've been through all of it. But I go.
You're not spraying.
Full in with energy. Because here, let me tell you a quick thing about like HVAC and energy. Like a month ago, I let my admin go. I don't think there was the right energy, or she left, but it was kind of a, you know, a good thing for everyone. But the energy was like really down. Mine, I wasn't focused on it. Dude, I was like in the worst situation in terms of jobs I've ever been in 5 years, right? And it was just, I'm telling you, because I was low, had this like low vision with the CCK. And then I was like, you know what? F it, man. I'm not going to hire another admin. I'm going to take this on. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to see how to get this right. I'm going to see how I need to train the next person to have the energy to handle this position. But I need to get this back to where it was. Because it was dire. Like I needed 4 jobs the next week, 4 cabinet jobs. You know, that's hard, right? In 1 week. And the week after that, I still needed 3. And the week after that, I still needed 4. So in the next 3 weeks, I needed 11 jobs. That's a lot of cabinet jobs, right? But I went in there. I told the guys, hey, you know, I'm taking it back. I'm gonna do everything I can, and I need your guys' energy. We're all gonna do this together. You know, I promise. I'm gonna do everything I can. I have the belief it'll happen, and bro, like God came through. I just put all the worries, everything. I'm like, here, God, just take it, and I'm just gonna go ham 100. I'm gonna believe in myself. And the leads the right leads came in. I ended up filling up the next week that I needed the 4 jobs, and the week after. So it's been a month since that point where I needed 11 jobs in 3 weeks. Now I'm booking out till October 7th. 6 jobs a week.
Sold 50K on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just letting everyone know it's up to you. Like you need to put the energy. I know like Aiden's starting to understand what I talk about now. Because when he first came in, he's like, nah, my computer brain doesn't understand.
Sometimes you would say stuff and I'd be like, all right, Alex, you know, I'll get back to that. Let me take a day to process that, you know.
But you got to do everything. You got to. That's when I say stay ready. Like that's why I do my 45-minute like strength boot camps. They're not fun. They're brutal. But that I'm getting through something hard every day. right?
You do that right at the top of the morning too, right?
Yeah, if I lately, hey, look, everyone falls off a little bit. I've been waking up at like 5:30, and so my workouts haven't been able to do.
Sleeping in, dude.
Just
Sleeping in. Up
had
at
it.
5:30. Jeez.
I was up at 4 a.m. on the dot, dude. Literally rose up like the Undertaker. Come on now. Falling off.
Snap out of bed. No, your butt didn't even hit the bed,
you
bro.
gotta
You just
stay
right on your
ready.
feet.
I was up,
You
bro.
gotta stay ready, baby. You gotta push yourself. And this is for like, I wish I would have learned it. Well, everyone learns things at their own time, but like you constantly want to feel uncomfortable. Like you constantly gotta like in your brain be like, oh my God, I gotta do these things. But then you gotta filter your mind to be like, to change that I get to do these things because I'm grateful that I have the opportunity and the health and the body and the mind and the ability to do these things, right?
Mhm.
That's how you become the best,
Yeah.
right? And you got to think you're the best. Like that's why I put Alexander the utmost. I don't care about what anyone says about that. I need to believe that, right?
Yeah.
And it's a journey. I'm molding that person, right? So like you guys, like you got to push. A lot of people like with Tanner, I'll call him and be like, bro, you keep going. People aren't like you. You're just like a beast. You're a machine. You freaking keep going, bro.
He
Right?
is.
Yeah. But a lot of people aren't on that level and they might be like, yo, take it down a notch. Like, chill out. I'm like, no, you freaking go, bro. You got it. You got the momentum going. You got the energy going. You got this passion. Like you guys too. Like I tell Aiden, I'm like, let's go. You got to get ready because
Mhm.
the passion you put in one thing, it'll go into everything else. Even though I'm not the best learner right now, but I'm learning to learn. Like I'm taking a course to be a better learner, right? Like reading and comprehension, because I know that's my weakness right now. So when that levels up, then it's not gonna be like a big jump. It's gonna be a skyrocket because I'm already so good at these other things, right?
You know what
And
I
I'm
want to
willing to
mention?
put myself through that because it's not fun in my head. That's not what I enjoy doing. I like pushing. I like motivating, right? Like when I see an Aiden or Lucas, I'm like, bro, you guys got to go. You guys have it.
Mhm.
You're phenomenal. Let's go. Like see it, push. But now I'm doing that for myself too. I'm like, yo, you're freaking. You're gonna push until you can't, and you're gonna see what you can be. Right now, there's a lot of work to do, but that's what it is. You got to
There's
be
always work to do, bro.
Always.
That's another thing. If you ever have, don't look at the goals. You have to love the journey to get to the goal because I've done it many times where I've set goals. And once I hit that goal, I went right back down because it was about the goal. It wasn't about the discipline or the commitment or like the person I became. Because even though I hit that goal, my habit wasn't that goal, right? I just put energy to get there. So it's like, who are you? Where are your like disciplines, your commitment? Are you that person that are you this level, or are you just an imposter that put some mustard on, like some energy there, and then once you hit it, you couldn't hang.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I want to mention, and like specifically about CCU, and you're talking about like kind of weaknesses and stuff. Coming out, like not only do you get us right, and you also get your production manager, who I
Yeah,
mean, Logan is CCU embodied or CCK embodied, right?
yeah,
Like he literally went through the journey with you, learned every single thing about cabinets, refinishing, grit, sanding grit, what sheens, like everything that you need to know about cabinets. Logan is going to teach you while you're there, right?
yeah,
Plus more just about like what you should use, supplies, all that kind of stuff, right? How to run this shop, manage the guys, you name it. So like not only us, but like just having a guy like that in the corner, somebody that really goes and pushes the strengths of the cabinet business while you go get the sales and he handles like operations and production. That's huge to see and take to your business and find a guy like that.
yeah.
And now you know what to look for and you know how they should operate and how they can take you to that next level. I mean, what would you do without Logan at this point? I mean,
And Lucas.
and Lucas, yeah.
Without
Like,
Logan, it would be very, yeah, it wouldn't.
be scary.
It would just be, yeah. He takes a huge load up, but he's been there for he did a lot of touch-ups to save some jobs with guys who were leaving, and they just, didn't have
Yeah.
the ethics to leave properly. So he went and fixed jobs. He's
But
more
dude,
than he's more than just like the operations manager. Like he's willing to do whatever
exactly.
it takes to keep the business going.
And that's what I'm getting at. Like finding those guys, you're able to attract them because of the business that you're and the energy that you're building and putting out there.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're able to find those awesome rock star guys, and we can help you do that because it all kind of ties together, right? You got the culture, you got the what are they actually going to be doing, the ironing out, right? The things that I can definitely help with. But like when you see it full circle overall and how it's compartmentalized, you see the potential how your business can grow in that way with
Yeah.
those resources and those crutches that you need.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's not marketing that grows a business. It's not operations. It's not pricing. It's not, your service. It's the people within the business
People.
that grow the business. You know what I mean? Like if you have rock star people, no matter what you do, you'll be able to grow.
How good are all my people, Aiden?
I was just talking to Mirna on the phone right before this, and she goes, "One thing I love about Alex is he didn't meet me and say, 'Oh, my guys love me.' I talked to his guys and they said we love him." That's a big statement, bro. And I can attest to that, right? I tell everybody I love you, but just in general, your guys will ring the bell as well, So it's very rare to
I'm
see.
willing to lose for them to win.
Yeah, it's rare to see, man. It's very rare to see, but that's what it takes to build an awesome business. If you want to be really proud in your business and have that potential to grow, those are the soft skills and things you need to implement and try and achieve to really do so,
And you also got to see a lot of people. What I think a lot of people just kind of listen to these podcasts, or they go to the PCA and different like conventions, and they don't know them. So they're just like wannabes or copycats, right? Of other people, which isn't bad. Like you want to get the information, but then you got to know who you are so that you can download the information into how you want to be the artist. Because if you're being the copycat of somebody, you might get successful, but you're not going to be happy because that's not you, right? You're just like doing. You're not like loving, right? You're not like seeing who like. Do I want the big business? Do I want
Mhm.
a small business? Do I want to have a little business and do other things? Do I have a hobby I love where I could have like two crews and then go and do this hobby full time, right? Do you want to be the serial entrepreneur? Because that's hard. Lucas has a lot of shit going on. If he didn't love that, he'd be crushed right now.
If you didn't have a great team.
That's the team, but still, he still has a lot of pressure and a lot of stuff to do. And you too, Aiden, and then Tanner. Like, if you guys don't love it, that the pressure of the bigness of the business, right? Because now you
Yeah.
have a lot of people, so it's not just you. Now it's more than you. It's greater than you. So you have to be unselfish. If like you got to know what you want, don't just have the big business to look cool. This is me that did it twice already. Like know what you want, right? And if you want to grow the big business, make sure that you're the man to do it and to be able to have responsibility over the people under you because they count on you. Don't just do it for money. Don't just grow business for money because you actually have people who count on you. And if you're about money, they'll be about money and they won't be about your business and you won't have a business.
Yeah.
Put the people first.
You gotta.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what we teach at CCU, baby.
And PaintCon too coming up, brother. Both of you guys locked in as speakers at PaintCon, man.
Bring
Yeah. Locked in my tickets, man.
Dude, it's gonna be fun, dude. It's gonna be fun. What do you guys? I mean, I know we're gonna be talking about more about speaking and stuff, but what's one topic you both want to talk about at PaintCon that you think people are gonna be leaving there, not just with knowledge, but with action?
Well, I know I'm going to talk about energy, mental health, and clarity, I would say, but into a business scenario. Because if I speak the way I want to, I don't know if it'll hit the way it should.
Yeah.
So I'll put it into a scenario where I can still bring the passion and people hear and feel me, but understand in a business scenario.
Yeah, I would love to talk about relationships, right? Because not only is this business based around it, but I think there's a lot of people you come across, especially in business, and that want to work with you, be close to you, get, to know your stuff. And it's like, to find people you can genuinely trust, open up to, and actually get some real feedback, not feedback where they're trying to sway you one way or the other, is very, very hard to find. And I've been lucky enough to not only find you guys, but a couple other people that have, dude, impacted me in great ways ever since I started this journey. So I think when you have that consciousness clear of like, I'm doing things right, my morals in the right place, I have the right people around me, that's going to better support what you're doing and just maximize everything, man. It's a game
Look at this
changer.
guy's talking about consciousness. Who'd you get that?
The man, the myth.
I love it. I'm gonna go to that.
Yeah, PaintCon's gonna be sick, man. So I mean, we got 5 shout outs here coming in. We got number 1, Cabinet Coating Kings. Dude, built a seriously badass business, Alex. Dude, super freaking proud of how, like listening to that story from club owner to partier to just, 7-figure business owner. It's huge, dude. And I know you've developed a lot along the way, but I'm sure there's so many lessons and mistakes you learned that have shaped you into the man you are today, right?
And continue, once you leave from that one personality, it always follows you. So it's a constant work. So no matter what level you're at, as you level up, you can never stop, because that old person's always chasing you to pull you back down.
Amen. Amen. And we got Aiden with PaintPro Coaching, dude. Every time a client tells us that they signed up with you, I have full 100% faith that they are just going to grow both personally and professionally. And you are one of two, I mean, you and Joel are the only actual coaches that I can recommend in good faith, because I know you're going to take care of those businesses like it's your own business. And those businesses are just going to crush and dominate. And that's why, dude, I would 100% put my name on your company, dude. You are an absolute legend. All your clients are crushing it. I hear nothing but good things from you.
Hell yeah. Thanks, bro. Appreciate
it. He actually cares.
He does. And that's a big difference. If you actually care about your product or your service, that's the big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second or thirdly, we got Cabinet Coating University. If you guys are looking to add cabinets to your business, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, because one, the absolute crush on Facebook. So if you're running Facebook ads or you're looking at doing Facebook ads, cabinets crush on Facebook. And 2, I mean, Alex, you could talk from it too. Cabinets are wildly profitable and there's a huge demand for it in the market.
It's not going away.
And
it's not going anywhere.
We'll show you, you will literally show you how to dominate the space. Like you have the coach, you got the visionary, and you got the
promoter.
The promoter.
And there's not many high-end guys out there. Very few and far in between. And there's so much demand that it's like, dude, it's a wide open space right now.
Yeah. Exactly. And if you can perfect that and systemize it and replicate that in your business, just like Cabinet Coating Kings has done, you will seriously take over your market and you will never run out of jobs.
That'll be like a separate business for you.
It's a complete.
And we can show you how to do that, and we can see how you want to do that. How big do you want to have? Because anyways, we'll just put you, what we do, we basically give you the vision. We will set your vision very clear. And and then Aiden will get you all the numbers to show you how it's going to pan out. And I'll show you the utmost numbers of what we expect in terms of goals for you to hit. And Lucas, we'll shoot some videos and everything. We'll get it to him, and then he'll get you all the leads you need.
The content's major.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a phenomenal opportunity. And I would say it's easily a tenfold return.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And then last shout out is PaintCon. If you guys want to hang out with these guys, myself, and a bunch of other people like Jason Phillips, Joel Mercado, even Andy Elliott, PaintCon is the place to be November 22nd to 23rd. Head over to paintcon.ca, grab your tickets, and we're going to kick it and learn.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having us, brother.
Yeah, dude, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Shout out Forward Media.
Busy individual and always having time.
Always got to make time, brother.
Yeah. No, and then
Awesome,
he
guys.
cares too, everybody. That's one person who cares. I've seen a lot of people rotate in this industry. He actually has a good heart. So.
That's why I was like, there's like nobody else we would have like allowed to help us with this. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to get the right individual, and obviously he's crushing it for everybody he works with as well. So proud to rep him
His
as
guys
well.
love him too. He has like a nice family over there. It's a great.
Oh yeah, his guys are the best.
We got a wicked community. I tell this to everybody. I tell this to our team, our clients. It's just like Ford Media is going to be your last stop.
Yeah,
like we are the agency that's going to be stuck with you. You know what I mean? We're going to grow with you, and it's a partnership, not a clientele, right? So,
and you guys are getting better too. I'm like seeing some of the features you're coming out with. I'm like, damn,
dude, always improving, brother. I got that from I actually got that from Netflix. You know how like when you're on Netflix and it says like coming soon, and you're just always adding new services and benefits or whatever. Dude, we're coming soon with some big stuff, man. So it's gonna skyrocket the results even more. So I'm fired up for that.
Dude, PaintCon this year is gonna be great, but imagine next year when we go and expand it to more people. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be like one of the biggest events, dude.
It is, and that's what I want to do with this time. It's just like we're doing our marketing for it, of course, right?
Yeah.
But everybody that steps foot into that room, we have 84 tickets. Everybody that steps foot in there, I want them leaving with nothing but pure value, and them just going on with word of mouth saying, "Oh my God, dude, I can't believe you missed it. I can't believe you missed it." To everybody that couldn't make it, right? So 84 tickets, they're coming out there. I mean, we launched it yesterday, and we sold 15% of tickets already. So they're going by fast. So grab your tickets, paintcon.ca. Hang out with Alexander the Utmost and Aiden Smith. And dude, it's going to be so much fun. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you both, and let's keep crushing.
Awesome.
See you guys.
All right,
Be
lads.
phenomenal.
Be phenomenal. Boom phenomenal.
Boom.